why should you get to save 50% of your income?
You have to look at that as a business, what your bottom line is. Are you in the red? Are you in the black?
Transparency nowadays is like what's really like making people connect. That was on you guys.
What's going on? It's your boy Sadiq. Welcome to the network. Damn, it's been some time, right? A lot of things been going on. And we actually came back because I had to, take a quick break real quick just because of things that I need to make sure I handled financially on my end. But we're here now. It's the final episode of the network for 2024. What we're going to do, we're going to do a quick recap, talk about that.
Yep.
And
I know. Can we talk about the new setting?
Listen,
nice.
Let's talk about it. John did a really good job with the new setting.
Did.
We actually have a facelift in this in our studio. John did a really phenomenal job. So shout out to our producer John. You know what I mean? He gets it in. He's all right.
What up?
He gets it in. He's all right. Don't gas that dude's head up. What's
going
on?
This is the first time you see me on video too.
It really actually is John's first time seeing him on camera. So if you guys don't know who John is, cha-ching, that's the man right there. And if you guys don't know who she is, my right hand, my partner in crime, Miss Angela Montero.
Okay.
What's poppin', girl?
Nothing. I'm excited.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Our final episode for 2024. How you feel?
Good. It feels good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
John, how do you feel?
I feel good. I feel this is a good year. This was a good year for real estate in general.
Yeah.
No, a lot of people got nervous. I know you two are both in real estate. A lot of people got nervous with that law that came in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that? What was that law where it was like commission, something about you were gonna make commission or not?
Yeah. I mean, in short, the National Association of Realtors were sued, and it's just it was a lawsuit that brings sellers and buyers back into the conversation about commissions. And so it's more or less just making sure that buyers and agents have agreements in place prior to showing houses. So it's a little bit of a change, but really not that bad.
It actually really isn't that bad. Compensation slightly is the same as long as there's communication.
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
what
like
it is.
I think that's the biggest thing that we all finally took out of this whole ordeal, because at first it was kind of nerve-wracking because we all playing tug of war trying to figure out the direction this whole thing is playing out. But it really comes down to communication.
Yeah, it's putting everything on paper so that everyone's
being
clear.
transparent.
I guess the biggest challenge is that compensation is no longer listed in the MLS.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're going in, you don't necessarily know if a seller is offering compensation or what compensation they might be offering. So use your mouth, use your words.
Yeah,
just ask the question and then talk to your clients and figure it out. It's
facts.
It's doable.
Isn't it funny now though how the internet just like kind of takes things and makes them into like a meme about everything? Because I seems like so many TikToks and reels of like the realtors like, oh, we do this much, and then I seen like a post that went live and everybody kept on sharing it, and it was like crazy. I'm just like,
that's why like on social media, if you follow my personal page, my real estate page, I don't really post those kinds of like funny memes. Like I might chuckle as I'm scrolling through other people's, but just because I don't want to be part of the like perpetuating the nonsense. Because a lot of the funny stuff and the memes, it scared the industry, it scared the consumer. It was a lot of like misinformation. And also if you don't really know, you could have put yourself into positions where you were up for fines. And I know they were all jokes like, I'm gonna put like, how they were gonna hide the 3% in the property description or the 2%, whatever the compensation is. And those were funny jokes, but like imagine if a agent actually did it and was like held accountable for something like that.
Let me ask you guys this: do you guys have like a personal page for your business stuff and a personal page for your personal life, or do you guys just combine the two?
Oh my! I've realized that it's easier to combine the two on one page because that's your whole brand right there.
Yeah.
No, I mean, so like having multiple pages, especially for certain platform, it's definitely chaotic. Trust me, I've been through. I've been doing it for 4.5 years. I understand it now. Simplify your life.
Well, I have 3
call
pages.
It a day.
3? I mean, that's reasonable.
I have my real estate page. I have my makeup page, and then I also have my page for my Airbnb.
But those
different.
3 things, I feel like they need to be
separate.
Yes.
You actually can combine them because it allows. I think you can actually combine just for the simple fact that People, you want people to know that you do Airbnb. You know, what I mean, most
What?
of your
Well,
personal friends are on
yeah,
your personal page.
I repost so that
Yeah,
it's there, but when I look at my feed, I don't. I'm sorry, I don't want to see my
That's what I
before
was
and
gonna
afters
say.
next
Yeah,
to
yeah,
my open house,
yeah.
next
gotcha,
to what I'm doing in Vermont.
gotcha,
I
gotcha.
aesthetically don't like it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Me, I'm to a point where I don't care. As long as everybody can see what I'm doing, doesn't matter if it's
He said the
development,
people
real
gonna
estate.
see me.
People's
He
gonna
said people gonna
listen. The
see
people's
me.
gonna see
However, they're gonna
me.
see.
However, man,
Hey
real
man,
talk. You know
transparency
what it is.
nowadays is like what's really like making people connect. It's like they like seeing like transparency. Like I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of like actors and stuff are becoming less famous.
Mm,
I feel like more like influencers that are online are becoming more like famous.
yeah.
I think people are naturally nosy. I know I'm a nose
Yeah.
bag.
Mm,
I want to know all the things.
yeah.
Like honestly, I saw the other day somebody had posted a picture, like it was like a mugshot. This girl that I used to work with on Facebook, it was a mugshot of somebody in Rhode Island. Oh,
Mm.
it was the guy that like escaped from the ACI and was like
Oh,
on
I
loose,
heard about
right? And
that.
yo, kid you not, he kind of looked like her husband.
Are
Like
you
Oh
low key
my
serious?
looked like her
gosh.
husband. So
Get
I got
out of
confused. So of course I went on her page and I like scrolled because I'm like, wait, is she posting that
It
like
just
her
becomes
like is was this it wasn't.
Yo.
It wasn't. He just kind of looked like it. So I
Yeah.
think people are just genuinely nosy
Yeah.
and they want to know. I know I get more engagement on the personal stuff.
Mm.
If I post something about interest rates, whatever, like some engagement. But like if I post that I was out like doing something with my husband and my
You get
son,
more
it's
engagement.
way more and
Yeah.
that's what people
I
see.
think
And
they're just connected more to like
yes,
Personal
it's
the
the
stuff.
more
personal
personal
like,
thing.
and you can actually like connect with with these people. They're actually messaging you back. You know,
Yeah.
back in the day, it was like if you were into like a movie star,
Mhm.
all you could do is watch their movies. Like
Yeah.
you're not getting response back from
Yeah.
them.
Right.
You know, you're not being able to like be personal with them.
Wait, you
Now
want to know my claim to fame real quick?
What's up?
So one of my favorite rappers is called Mega, and
You
years
like
ago,
Cole
love
Mega?
Mega.
Called Mega, and I've
Wow,
gone to
Cole
see him a
Mega.
couple times. I've gone
Okay.
to see him a couple times live. Like I went to
Yeah.
like this hole in the wall bar in
Mhm.
Manchester, and after we did, like I got a book and a CD signed
Yeah.
after, and then I think I posted it, and obviously I tagged him, and he like responds.
Get the
Yeah.
hell out of here.
Yeah, so
That's
it's
what's
true.
up.
Like it's that. I know he's like he's underground, but
Mhm.
that's like
That's probably why he was.
that's cool.
That's
No,
probably
it's
why he
true.
what's
Like
up.
I'm
responded, 'cause
not.
he's like,
I'm not gonna
That's
get a
up.
response from like a Beyonce or
Yeah.
whatever.
nah.
But
You never
it is
know.
cool. It's the engagement of it. I got some homies online like
Mhm.
that I never met in real life.
Yeah.
Mad cool. Like we be chopping it up in the DMs, and those are like my homies. I got internet besties.
I'm gonna give you guys
Vic, watch out.
I'm
No,
gonna
not
give
like that.
I know
You
what
know how I
mean.
am. I actually hate being hit on. It's my
I'm
least favorite
I
thing.
know.
I'd be
I
so mad.
know.
Why are you looking at me?
I'm
Nah,
gonna ask you guys a quick question
yeah, go
about how the
ahead.
podcast went. I know at the beginning of the year you guys had like a New Year's resolution that you wanted to like kind of hit. So if you guys want to talk about a little bit about if you guys managed to hit it or how it ended up going for the year for you guys as far as the podcast went.
You go ahead, Ange. How was your
So
year?
Well, actually, first of all, when did Angie come in?
Angela came in
Angela.
top of the year. No,
yeah,
was it top of the year you
I
came in?
think so. Yes.
It was top of the year,
Yes.
I believe she came in.
Yeah.
February.
Yeah,
I
we
believe
should
it
have a
was.
trivia question for you guys, yo.
Oh, go,
What
matter
What
of fact, go ahead.
episode?
Matter of fact,
What
go ahead.
episode did,
Nah,
did
matter of fact, go
Angela
ahead,
come
but I
in
think it
on?
was top of the year.
If it has to do with like memorizing dates and things, like fail. I already lose. I'm not. No. No.
That would be a
Please
good
don't.
question right there
No,
at
I'm
the
so
end.
bad with dates. Don't
Yeah.
ask me that.
Hey, do you want to play the game?
Yeah,
We should do the
let's
game
go.
at the end.
Listen,
At the end, we
go
should
ahead,
do the
go ahead,
game.
John.
All right,
All right,
I'm
at the
gonna-
end,
No,
I'm
at
down.
the end we'll do the game,
All right, cool.
and
Let's
you
do
guys
it.
got to answer questions
Oh,
about the
okay.
podcast.
All right, I'm cool with that. I'm cool
See if
with
you
that.
guys know people's last names.
Oh,
Ooh, you're talking to a one person.
Sadiq's gonna
Yeah,
You're
fail.
talking to a one person that forgets people's name and is bad with location.
Me too.
Forget
Oh, man.
about
Me
it.
too. But
How's your year?
specific to no, it was good. But I don't necessarily. I think I said like I don't necessarily do like actual resolutions. I just try to be better. I think I was better. I
Mm.
hope I was better. Um, I there wasn't anything in particular that I said I was gonna. You know what I didn't do?
What
No, I'm
happened?
lying. There were things. I'm gonna talk about what I didn't do.
Let's talk
I
about
have not painted. Like I
like
put that.
artistic.
Yeah, I
painting.
said I'm gonna get
Gotcha.
back into painting. It's very zen. I love
Mhm.
to do it. Haven't done it. I have brand new
Slacker.
watercolors because I wanted to learn how to watercolor.
Mhm.
Brand new, all the watercolor stuff just sitting there. I got brand new easel, just staring at me collecting dust.
Collecting dust.
So yeah, I didn't do it. I honestly, I think I put a lot into work and all the things that I'm doing, and I did spend time with family and do all
Yeah.
those things. Like no regrets there, but I definitely didn't do the things that I wanted to do for myself.
No, that's well. You still have 20. You have twenty twenty
I still
five,
got
so
time.
you have that coming up. So it's never too late at all. I think for me, I think we did not mood boards. What you call it with Danielle.
See, you said mood board, and now I can't even think of the real word.
Oh my god! But we did.
Is it?
Nah, it's not a mood board. I forgot what
It's
it's
like a
called.
vision board.
Vision
Vision
board.
board
Vision
Thank
is
you.
the
board.
Oh
Yeah.
my
word.
Yep.
gosh.
What
Thank
the hell?
God.
Yeah, I'm gonna fail this game
Listen.
at the end.
Thank you, John. Now we did vision board right before 2024 hit, like the office
Yep.
team. I like how Danielle put that together. And so far, some of the stuff on the vision board pretty much hit right. For me, the whole like I wanted to dress up I wanted to take professional pictures for my birthday. That's why I had that doing the pink suit. Took that motherfuckers thought that I was like creating a whole fashion line over here and stuff. I was like, nah, man,
Yeah.
it was just birthday pics. That shit looked the sexy as hell too, man. It looked mad good. I was getting caught. I'm like, all right, let's do it. And I hit that.
Oh, that's probably why. Remember you were gonna buy that hat, and you had to buy a bigger size. Your head
Which-
was big.
My head was big. Get the hell, this girl really talking mad.
You were so serious. You were like, "Wait, when did I buy a hat?" You didn't buy a hat.
I'm like, yo, this girl's tripping. Nah, and also got that construction going on as well. A lot of people told me to put that to the side, but me, man. When I'm focused in, like a deer in the headlight, just looking, like I'm stuck. You know what I mean? So I'm actually that's actually coming.
I was just
So
about to ask you.
3-4 months left on that project. The project's looking great, man. Just gotta sell it. That's it.
Right.
But there's certain things that I've accomplished. Having a co-host coming onto a platform was amazing. So we made that happen. Angela came on. She kicked it. People love you actually too. So which is dope.
Love
You
you
and your
people.
bubbly ass attitude. But so there's things that we've basically accomplished, and I actually like the
how,
way
how did
everything's
you
going
like?
so far.
How did you guys like the like going out and like actually meeting the business owners at their business and like kind of?
I
That
like
was
it.
fire.
So I
And
like
people
it.
love
People
that.
do
Yeah.
like
People
it.
do love that aspect of the network. They
Yeah.
really do.
And I know it has its challenges. John be like, the
The light,
sound.
the
John
sound,
be
man. I
John
tell
be
you,
John
man.
be
so
I be,
stressed over
stressed.
light.
yeah,
The
man.
light, the sound. It's gonna sound like
Yeah,
ooh, the background noise.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Hey,
no, I
that's
think it honestly, we've gotten so much feedback. Like people have stopped me at places, and they loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, shout
that.
out to everybody those that watch, because sometimes I be talking to people out in the public that approaches every so often, and they're like, "I didn't know you live here in Rhode Island." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a
Get out of
local."
here,
You know
damn.
what
That's
I mean?
pretty
Because
cool.
people
Yeah,
don't
yeah. I didn't know
really,
that either. That's
yeah,
pretty cool.
people really don't realize that, unless they really know
Yeah, but you
us.
also don't sound like you're from Rhode Island.
What do I sound
Like
like
you
I'm
say
from?
say
What the
Rhode
hell?
Island.
Rhode Island.
Yeah, Rhode
Ah,
Island.
Rhode Island.
Say story. Say story.
Story.
Yeah. See, you
What
don't
you
sound like a
mean?
Rhode Islander.
What does a Rhode Islander
Because,
sound
well,
like?
I mean, I'm not saying I necessarily sound like a Rhode Islander either, but you definitely have like some kind of accent that doesn't sound
I
like
respect
from Rhode Island. So I understand people being
Nigerian accent.
confused. No, it's not Nigerian.
I wouldn't want that. I've been always trying to practice this whole Nigerian accent. I can't even do it. I don't understand how those that born here can actually pull off a Nigerian accent.
It's
I was
actually
born
one of my
Nigerian, I
favorite
can't do
things
it.
when like Nigerian podcasters that speak English
Uh-huh.
perfectly fine, like no accent,
Yeah.
but then when they are talking about a certain topic and they really
They
want to
flip
drive
with
the
the
point,
accent.
they like hit you with the Nigerian
Can
accent.
you do it?
No, because I'm not Nigerian and I'm
Oh,
not
You
man.
about
don't
to
need
piss.
to be
You
Nigerian.
think I'm about to piss off the entire Nigerian population? No, I
No, no.
can't do that.
They'll be all right.
No, I can't. I can't.
You know what I like about the going out? It was
Yeah.
that a lot of the people that you guys were like entrepreneurs and they were like small businesses.
Yeah.
Like that grew big. Like what was it, the weed dispensary place?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that shit
Rhode
was
Island,
huge. When he
Rhode
was
Island's
telling me
finest
how much he
garden.
makes and like
Yeah.
what his expenses are a month.
Yeah.
Like these people were like single. I wouldn't say single, but they were like small at one point and they're grown, they're getting
Yeah.
bigger, So
Yeah.
I think that was a big. I was gonna ask you guys like, did any other like owners of the business ever contact you back or like ask for like another episode or any feedback from them?
Not necessarily. And a
Uh,
lot of these people we have relationships
Yeah, I was
with.
gonna say you don't have to say who it was, but
No,
I
no, a
don't know
lot
if
of
there's
these
if there was like one that was like, nah, I didn't like it, or nah, you portrayed me in this way and that way. I don't
There
know.
was actually one besides Rhode Island Finance. It was oh my
Although you don't
god.
gotta say the name, I don't want to put
Oh
nobody on the
man, I
spot.
don't care. It's my platform.
Sadiq, he does not
Yeah,
care.
it's my platform. It was what you call Zion from is it Zion or Zion from Distinguished
Yeah,
Catering.
yeah,
So
Where?
Distinguished Catering.
Distinguished
yeah.
carrier.
Yeah, so there was actually I clipped it too, and I created a reel of it, and there was a specific part in that episode where I forgot exactly what she stated, but I guess it didn't come out right. I think it was something along the lines of like, Rhode Island government, whatever case, don't support their business or
Mm.
something along those lines. I gotta go back and reflect on it, and I guess I created a reel out of that, and she hit me up and she was like, she was like, I didn't want to share it because we felt like it didn't fit our business and would make our business look bad and stuff like that. I was like, no, I totally understand it, but I'm not taking it down.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like it's because there was a critique
Yeah.
for and because they're still a growing business,
Mhm.
maybe they thought it was going to hinder their ability
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
move forward. But I don't. There's not a problem with critiquing,
Mhm.
and we do it all the time. You're in a relationship, you want the person to be better.
Do you think that's like an issue like now that people kind of like they want to tiptoe because there's so much on social media they don't want to step on toes that might stop them from growing? Is that like what do you guys think about that? Is that something that you would do like just kind of like
I
just
do. I watch what I
I
post,
think
what I
so too.
say, because I mean it's always gonna be there,
Yeah.
right? And there are just some conversations that to me are not meant to be had on camera.
Yeah.
And so I won't. I think it's a smart decision. I don't think what she said
Yeah, I
in
don't
that
think what
last
she
clip.
said
I don't think
was
what
like
she
yeah,
said
yeah,
was
it was like
terrible.
nah.
I
Yeah.
think Rhode Island does have a challenge with small businesses. That
Mhm.
has been something that is a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's she's not the first person that feels
Yeah.
that way. But no, I watch what I say.
Yeah. I try to watch what I say sometimes. I try. Because sometimes it's just like you just want to let your thoughts out and let people know how you feel about certain things. But for the most part, now I've been cleaning up my approach to social media because my branding is very important now.
Yeah.
Before I did not care. But now it's
So
like,
if we go back like 2 years, we find some like
yo,
bad pictures and like
I probably delete a
no,
bunch of stuff anyway. So
Oh, so
trust me.
wait. So I actually did. It was my first time ever seeing like a Facebook thing where it's like I don't know how they like a violation. I got a violation.
Get
oh,
out
on
of here.
Facebook.
For
Yeah.
what?
So a few years ago, I had posted just like something about Columbus Day and how like
Mhm.
it's mad weird that we celebrate Columbus
Yeah.
Day. Like
We
this
sh-
dude like raped and pillaged places
Yeah,
and
we
really
shouldn't be
wasn't even that great.
yeah, we shouldn't be
He was
that's one
mediocre.
holiday we shouldn't
No,
celebrate.
right, and I
Yeah.
agree. So I was just, but it wasn't even like I was just straight stating facts. I
Yeah.
took screenshots from his like diary where
Yeah.
he's straight talking about
Uh,
raping like women when he
Mhm.
was on his expeditions, and just being like, I think it's mad weird that we celebrate him. We don't celebrate Hitler and all these
and
other
that
weird
specific
Yeah.
people.
post got knocked down.
So it was just a memory. Like
Mhm.
I posted it. This was years ago, and
Mhm.
so I saw it in like my
Yeah, yeah,
memories,
yeah. And they
and
pop.
then when I saw like I got a notification, I looked and it was like something violation or whatever,
Get out of
Yeah.
and
here.
I was like, what did I didn't post anything because I'm not big on posting on
Yeah.
Facebook. So I'm like, did I like post something like on accident? And
Outrageous.
then it hit me that it was that.
It was the old
Mm.
post.
It was that. But see, that
That's
I'll say it and I'll do it again.
that's
Bop, bop,
Facebook
bop.
for you, man. That's
I'll
how
never be on
Facebook.
Facebook like that. I'm mainly on Instagram, and TikTok just be driving me through one hell of fucking rabbit hole after a rabbit hole after a rabbit
Me too.
hole.
I love it.
Yo, TikTok is so bad,
I
yo.
know, I
It's
love it.
crazy, but like, yeah.
Let me ask you this, right? Because I got a couple notes on here from like just how everything went for the year, and
Mhm.
one of the things that sticks out to me is like if you have a skill and you're doing something and people are acknowledging that you're doing your craft, you're doing your skill, is it okay to charge to show somebody that skill, or do you feel like if they reach out to you, you should just give out the information? Like no, because I
I
see
know what you
only
mean.
because I see a lot of like everywhere you go nowadays, YouTube, Instagram is like consulting fee.
Mhm.
Consulting fee.
Yeah.
Hour of my time, $60. Hour of my time, $200. And this is like, what do you guys feel about that?
There's two responses for me for that. One, yes, and two, no. The reason why I say yes is because if you're providing a service, people should pay for your service, right? Especially when you took the time, the effort, to learn something, a
Yeah.
specific skill set, you have all rights to charge, right? Now, the flip side is when you share free knowledge, you become a reputable source at the same time, right? And then on top of that, you end up creating trust with people. And then on top of that, you might end up earning business from it. You know what I mean? So it's really a twofold question to me, yes and no, approach to it.
So
Yeah.
charge if so this is the way I see it. So it's like if you have a craft and they want to know about that craft, I feel like you should charge for sure.
Yeah,
Because if
definitely
you're learning,
charge.
if you're saving them time, saving them
Yeah.
money,
Yeah,
but if it's like more of like I'm just gathering information from online and
gaining
I'm
insight.
putting it together for you. I don't know.
Here's
I'm
my
not.
thing is that we have so much access to
Yeah.
technology,
So it's
and
like
so there's like really not a reason to be ignorant. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
like there's not. So if there's something you want to know, you can find it
On
online.
Yeah.
YouTube
But I do
University.
believe that you should be paying people, and people should charge for
For
their
their
talents.
service,
But it
yeah.
depends on like how much time effort they put into something. And I'll use an example. Like let's just say, for instance, like you're a great photographer, videographer. If I have a good camera and I wanted to just like learn how to do like some shots here and there. I don't want to be a photographer by any means. I don't have time for it. But if I just wanted to learn that, I think I should be approaching you and offering to pay you, right? If I'm your cousin, maybe not.
I
But
was
I
so
think
that
If
one
you
that
are,
one
if you are his cousin,
yeah,
he
that one
should.
I'm okay with. I'm just saying, like, let's say, yeah, I do photos, videos, but I got a whole bunch of videos on how to switch tires on a car, and then I'm selling those to you. Like, here, I got a video. This is how you switch. You got to get the lug nut, and then, but I do nothing with that. I'm just selling you information.
Mhm.
That's the ones that I'm more
that's
like,
kind of weird.
yeah.
That is kind of weird because that's information, like I said, you can get anywhere. And
So there are
unless
sites
it's,
like that.
but
That
unless,
yeah.
but are you a mechanic? Like it's not like a mechanic coming in and showing you how to like do certain things. Like yeah,
I
you
just
should.
I just try to
'Cause-
try to connect that
So
there.
let
But
me ask you this then: the stuff that we do with real estate, right?
Mhm.
The information that we provide to the people online all the time,
Mhm.
free knowledge. Should we charge them for that free
No, but
knowledge?
that's going back to like what you say. It's a way to like generate
to
business,
generate
right?
business,
So
Exactly.
yeah,
like
yeah.
um it would be no different going back to the photography videography thing. If John, and he does like some of his stuff, like he talks about like the not necessarily the details of how he shot something, but like remember the video of you with like the behind the scene
Yeah, yeah,
glasses,
yeah.
and you
Mhm.
talked about the quality and like how it's not like gonna be amazing quality, but it's how you can get your behind the scenes stuff
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Now somebody could have looked at that, saw a talented videographer, uh, uh, photographer, gave their review, and it's like, oh, okay. He's not charging them
Yeah,
for
yeah.
like for that information about the product, but then also it could have driven business. Somebody liked what they saw, maybe they hire him. So I think it just depends. I would not want to invite somebody to lunch or dinner and pick their brains on something that they worked really hard for and not compensate them.
Yeah,
I think
I
there are
agree.
too many people that want things
Well, I
handed
mean,
to
if you
them
buy them dinner, then that's
free.
compensation.
No, because
No, that's not even
dinner don't pay the
compensation.
bills.
Like,
I can
for
buy my
real.
own
That's not
dinner.
even compensation.
Also,
For
I
real.
love
Like,
to
John,
take
can you take
myself
me?
to
Yeah.
lunch and dinner. Like I love nothing. Like
Yeah.
one of my favorite things is to go sit at a bar, get a cocktail, have my laptop, and do my thing. Like I
Facts.
don't need some
Yeah.
stranger that's like chit chatting so my steak could get cold. I want to eat it.
Yeah.
No.
No, I definitely agree with you. If you are providing information and you could definitely make money off it in some form of consultation way, man, do your thing, man.
Like
Ain't
if
nothing
somebody
wrong.
stopped me and was like, "Oh, I want you to like kind of give me the blueprint on like how a brokerage is opened."
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
charge.
No,
I'm gonna charge you an arm and a
absolutely
leg for
not.
that.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, not
Like
fact.
if
But
you're
if somebody came and said, I'm buying a first home, I want to, can you tell me some tips? I'm not ready to buy right now, but
that's
can you
part
give
of
me
the
That's
some
job.
tips?
different.
That's
That
part of
That's
the
goes.
job.
part of
That's
the
part
Okay.
of
job.
the
Yeah,
job.
that's
Okay.
different. That's
That's part
different.
of the job. It's like when I'm doing makeup. If somebody's like, "Oh, what brand of makeup is your favorite?" I'm gonna tell them.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not gonna be like, "You gotta charge me so you
yeah.
can know my favorite makeup is
Yeah,
whatever."
it
You
just
know?
it just depends on the situation and the type of conversation or whatever information that they're looking to
Yeah,
gather.
and it
That's
kind of
it.
goes back. We did the episode with Amber,
Yeah.
Black Leaf Tea.
Hmm.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I
And
remember. Yeah.
she is at a point where when she goes to an event, She's being paid to speak.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
she
we
is.
should,
Damn,
yeah,
that's
we
good.
should, and we should normalize that.
Yeah.
Like if you're like going and sitting on a panel, there are some times where you want to do it for free. If you're going and sitting in front of like some like
Maybe
high
high
school
school.
students
Yeah.
that are
Yeah, yeah,
wanting to get into
Yeah.
photography, like that's that feel good stuff. Like that's how you give back, right?
Yeah.
That you have a talent and there's a way that you could share it and inspire
yeah,
others. But we also have to normalize like charging people. If somebody
Yeah.
wanted you to come to some big convention and be like a keynote speaker, they should be paying you.
They
yeah, yeah.
definitely.
Because I'll be honest, that's a skill in its own, like being
Yeah.
able to talk in
Yeah.
front of like a lot of people
And engage them and
engage
captivate
them.
and
Yeah,
get them to like to
To see what
to
you're.
see what you're
Yeah.
seeing. And
Yeah,
that
yeah,
that
man.
that is a huge talent, and it's a lot too.
Yeah.
yeah.
There's a cost associated. Where are you traveling to? Are they
Yeah.
giving you, and get your room and board paid for?
Yeah.
Those
And
kinds of
the
things.
content itself is worth my. I went and shot a speaker at a school, and I was behind the camera. He was like, I got home and I called my wife. Like, damn, I got to talk to my son because he was talking to young kids in high school,
Yeah.
and I was like, I got to tell him exactly what he said. And like
Yeah.
he was like really hitting me when he was talking to these
Yeah.
kids. Like, oh,
Mhm.
you know, a lot of you guys don't have like places that you can go and talk to. You know, the teachers are here for you to talk to. If
Yeah.
you got issues, you don't gotta hold it in. Holding it in at a young age is like what causes a lot of for you to have like this anger later down the
Yeah.
road. So
Yeah.
he was like talking and it was like hitting me and the thing that hit me the most about what he was talking about is at the end, even if I was on the video and I've seen a couple kids laying
Yeah.
back and really not listening, but
Yeah.
man, there was kids that waited for him to everybody to leave to shake his hand.
Yeah.
There was kids that came up and were like whispering and he had a mic and I could hear him like, yo, thank you, man.
Yeah.
And it's
yes,
like things like that. And I'm like, yo, even if you touch 5 kids, that shit was
But
like,
see,
that
that's
shit was
not
powerful.
to me. That's not consulting.
that's giving back.
Giving back.
Yeah.
Like, and
I mean, he
there's-
got paid to speak.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course,
But
but that
still,
still
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that's giving back.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff I think that makes doing what you like to do worth it.
Yeah. Shout out to Met High School. I'm gonna be doing that with the Met
Yeah?
High School.
Nice.
That's- Yeah, that's
Exciting.
pretty dope. I just shout out to them.
Yo, how do you guys feel about the whole rental crisis right now that's going on? Is it still going on? I
Still
don't.
an issue.
It's still an issue?
Mhm. There's little rentals.
Mhm.
I mean, housing that's still an issue, and rents are still high for a multitude of reasons. And
We're not gonna see nothing change. I don't think. Rent's
Have
not
you
gonna
e-
go down.
Have
none
you
of
ever
that.
in the history seen like rent go down? I've never seen that before.
No, but I don't think
No.
anybody has. I think
No.
that's the one thing that doesn't
No.
fluctuate. I think that's the one thing that, regardless of the
So-
situation, just keeps going
So
up.
all that could happen right now is it stays at where it's at
Yeah.
because
yeah,
or
because some
it
of the
goes up.
legislation
But
is
there's
not,
only two things: either it goes up or it stays where it's at. Right? Is that
Right
what is
now,
that what
it's
you
either
think? You
going.
guys think it's
Yeah, we're either going to be dealing with a stagnation or we're going to deal with the inflation situation. But right now, I think we're in a stagnant place because it hasn't gone down, and I don't think we're going to see rent go
But
down.
anyone that's bought a house in the last couple years until now, they have to charge. The rent is the rent.
yeah,
They
yeah.
have to charge it or they can't pay their mortgage.
I'm sick and
And
tired of
whether
these
people wanna
tenants
hear-
complaining
I
about
know.
that shit. That shit's so annoying. Like a lot, I get it in
Yeah.
terms of income wise, where like people are not making that much money. But people also need to understand. You have these homeowners buying homes at a high price. That needs to get paid. So unfortunately, that shit's needs to roll down the hill. And unfortunately, as tenants, you have to deal with the situation. Just
I think
tough it
the
up.
issue is that there's a multitude of conversations that have to happen,
yeah,
and you can't lump them all in
yeah,
in the same little bucket, because if you want to talk about slumlords, we can have that separate conversation,
yeah.
right?
There's a lot
We
of
can
that.
have a separate conversation
Yeah.
about slumlords that are overcharging, and it's basically uninhabitable.
Mm.
Like we can have that conversation. That's a separate conversation than a person that has purchased a house in the last 2 to 4 years at the top of the market and has no choice but to charge. And I'm
Yeah.
speaking specifically to multis,
Yeah.
right? If in order for them to maintain their mortgage payment, they have to charge. So if your mortgage payment is $4,000 on a
On a
on a
two-unit
On a
two-unit
two-unit,
home,
yeah,
that
yeah.
means in order to split that down the middle, you're charging at least $2,000.
And that's
you're-
breaking. That's not even breaking.
That's not even-
That's a loss.
Right, you're technically taking a loss
Yeah.
because you're still paying as the
same,
owner,
yeah.
the sewer, and
yeah.
all of those other things. So you're looking at probably paying around $2,500, and your tenant would be paying $2,000.
Yeah.
So pretty much what from what I see right now is like if you're gonna buy a multifamily home, it's just to invest your money.
It becomes a bank.
That's the way
Yeah.
I see it. Like
And it honestly,
yeah,
and that's another thing. It's like I think those conversations need to be separated
it's
out,
still.
right?
I'll
Like
be
you got,
honest. It's still a good investment. Like it's still a
oh
good thing
yeah,
for you to
Yeah.
do is to buy a mall. Like if you have the money and you got the credit and you are looking, like definitely buy something with it. Like
hmm
the money sitting in the bank doesn't do nothing for you.
Yeah, it needs to work.
yeah. But I
And
think gone are the days where, and everyone probably has an uncle,
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
some tia or Theo that bought a house in the '90s, and it's like, oh, you gotta buy a three family, so then you don't pay any
Yeah,
bills,
yeah, yeah.
and
Yeah.
That shit don't exist no
I
more. Yeah,
think
yeah. I
gone
get
are
you.
those days,
I
and that's
I think that's what's stopping people from like making the jump on the multifamilies or like they gotta go over that hump. Like you still gotta pay if you got a multifamily.
Yeah.
Like it's not like you're gonna live there for
you
free.
gotta pay, and you have to have the liquid assets
Exact.
prior to even qualifying because you need your reserves
Yeah.
plus your down payment and all of those things.
Yeah. One thing I noticed is like if you have more to put down, then obviously your monthly payment is gonna be cheaper.
Mhm.
So that way you can like pay a little bit less.
Hmm
But it's the problem is I see there's like a lot of people are trying to jump into multifamilies at like these no money down or low interest, and it's like you can't jump into 600,000, 500,000, and then you expect your payment, expect the two tenants to pay all of it. Like
Right,
you
right.
didn't
I
put anything down, so it's like you gotta.
Exactly.
I think
That's
the realization is not there for a lot of these buyers, right? Meaning that they don't realize that when they're going into this situation as as a homeowner, right? They don't realize all these overhead expenses that involves being a landlord
hmm
and running multi-unit properties,
it
right?
becomes
To
a
a more
business on its own. Yeah,
that
yeah,
is
yeah,
it's a
yeah,
business. That's how
yeah.
exactly how I explain it to a lot of these people. Like, yo, when you're buying a multi-family home, 2 units or up, even if you're buying singles, right? Because singles could be rentals, but in this situation, we're talking about multis. You have to look at that as a business, right? You have to look at it, what your bottom line is. Are you in the red? Are you in the black? And so forth and so forth. Because if you don't analyze all that situation up front and you're just going in the mindset, oh, I want to buy a property, I'm going to put tenants in, they're going to pay my rent. Nah, you're going to get a reality check quick,
I think
right?
any home purchase, you gotta just run your numbers,
Yeah.
and that's just the answer. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna talk to a potential client about like the feelings about, oh, I want to make money. Okay, we'll put pen to paper, and if at the end of the day it doesn't come out to you making money, then maybe it's not the right thing for you to do.
Especially in today's day and age, especially in today's day and age where the market's at, it's very important to understand what you're getting into.
Yeah.
How do you feel about like people flipping homes?
I love flipping homes. I want to do it, but I think people need to stop doing it if they suck at it.
Angela's such an asshole.
What?
Pardon
It's
my
true.
language.
It's
No,
true.
I
No,
agree.
and also, can we stop putting out content like of people being like, I flipped this house and
Oh
I made
man.
$100,000. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Yo,
And also, well,
what
wait, this
for?
kind of goes
Angela's
back
too
to putting
much.
out information. Yeah, I'm mad. This
You-
goes to putting out messed up information, and people just think because this is the problem. Consumers that have never flipped a house, they think it's so easy,
Well, that's
right?
the thing. I see a lot of people like promoting that it's pretty easy. You get
It's
a loan
not
that
Is
makes
not
fucking
yeah,
easy, and
easy.
it
yeah,
costs a lot of money
Yeah.
unless you got your own green
yeah.
hard cash. Like, unless you have over $500,000 and you can buy that property and you're funding
The
the
property.
renovations all yourself, you're not making that much money.
Yeah.
Because when you're taking out private loans, which most of us do when we are investing and we're flipping,
Yeah.
you're paying a higher
Interest
interest
rate.
rate. So you think that little 7% interest rate is high? Nah.
Try
Get a private.
12,
Try 12, 13,
13%,
14%
11%.
plus a couple points.
Yeah.
So there's not, this is what going back to doing
Yeah,
the
yeah.
numbers. You got to make sure there's enough meat on the bones. And I've done the numbers, and unfortunately, they haven't worked out for me this year where I should do a flip, because when I calculate what I'm borrowing and then what I'm gonna make at the end, it's just kind of
It
not
does
worth
make
it.
sense.
What you guys have done both flips, right? Both of you
Yeah.
are. What do you guys recommend for like somebody who's doing a flip? Like what are some things you need to have in order to actually make a flip like profitable? Like what do you think is like some key things? I don't know, some
I
information
think
that you
know
might
your
want to give.
numbers. Like, so when you walk into a house, that needs work and you potentially want to flip, or even beforehand you could do this homework. Know what sheetrock costs, know what
Yeah.
lumber costs,
Oh,
know what a
that
kitchen
comes into like,
costs.
do you have a should you have a contractor on deck
Oh
ready to
yes,
go?
all
Okay,
these
so
things.
this contractor, um, do you have somebody like a hard money lender
Hmm.
ready to go? Is it, or is it like,
Yeah,
or do you
where's the
take it
money
out of your
coming
own
from?
house? You know what I'm saying? I've seen people flip with like money from, that they have, what do you call
They
it?
pulled
Equity in
out
their home.
equity in
Yeah,
their
yeah,
home.
to flip the
Yep.
home. So it's like,
I think
Yeah.
that's a good way to do it, but sometimes we found that's a little scary at the time. But I guess it's all that, bro.
Yeah,
About real
so
estate.
you
But
have to have, I think, gathering your resources, right? Like, because now that's a conversation that you need to have with a loan officer.
yeah,
If you're pulling money out, you want to make sure like this is going to make sense because you're still up against today's interest rates,
yep.
right? HELOCs, they carry a higher interest rate.
yeah, yeah,
Doing a cash out refinance might not be the smartest thing when
Yep.
you are in a 3%
yeah. That's
interest, and
true
then
too.
now
Yeah,
you're
At 7%.
seven, but it could. So this is why at the end of the day, know your numbers. Like saying that out loud, doing a cash out refinance in
Mhm.
today's market, not the smartest thing.
yeah,
Maybe for you, but when somebody else does their calculations, it might make sense because they might have still that wiggle room to make money
Mm.
and
And
it
not,
still not be an issue.
not even that, just when analyzing a property, right? You have to analyze a property to detail, right? Because flipping a home versus building a home is two different things.
Hmm.
When you're flipping a home, you don't know what's behind the walls. You don't, especially when
yeah,
you
yeah.
start tearing things
Yeah.
down, like that you didn't
You're buying a car at the auction that doesn't turn on. You're like,
Right.
do. You're like,
And
what
that's
the
why I'm
hell?
saying it.
when
Like
I
in the
get
You
home,
beginning,
need
yeah,
to
that's what I would say
when you
understand.
to
pay, you
anyone
get the
that's
keys.
thinking
Yeah, yeah,
about potentially
yeah,
getting into flipping is understanding your numbers and knowing what things cost.
Yeah,
And then from there, you can add like a little buffer. You should always add a little
at least
contingency,
five
right? If I
percent
walk into a house
contingency.
that has like a small kitchen, I'm like, okay, I know that this kitchen is going to cost me uh, $10,000, let's just say. And that's doing something like on the cheap because I have a husband that can do things, right? And I'm
yeah.
kind of handy.
And that comes
That's
back.
another thing though
Yeah,
too.
That
Like,
comes
how
back to the
handy are
question.
you?
Yeah, how
yeah,
handy are you? And then
yeah.
one thing was like, what was that couple's name? Perfect question, perfect trivia. What was that couple's name who came on who was super handy and were
Oh,
and
Married to Two. That's Married to Two is See, I just know them by their nickname, man.
I know
Married to
by the
Two. That's
Instagram too. Yeah, yeah.
What are you talking about?
Married to Two.
Oh,
That's their
That's
Instagram handle. So yeah,
yeah.
when they
oh.
Oh
came on,
my
they
gosh, I'm the worst. Soul investor and his wife.
But wait, I wasn't on. I wasn't there for that.
I don't know, were you on
I
for
No,
that?
wasn't
I don't
on
think
that
she was
one.
there
Oh,
I
for
wasn't there
that.
yet.
Yeah, you
That
wasn't
was
there for that.
you know how like what are you doing? You're on
Oh,
your
you
phone.
took
Oh
it.
no, I was
Now
trying to
you
look. No, I was trying to
now
look
you
up.
just messed up the
That's
background.
it's
That's
all
all right.
right.
It's all right.
It's all right.
Oh God!
It's
Now
all
we see
right.
this
What
bullying stuff, but
what a
It's
lot of the stuff that
fine.
they were saying was like that they were handy. Like you would see, like you go on his Instagram and he was
Yeah,
like showing.
he does a lot of his own stuff. He's very like hands on and stuff like that. His wife is more on she's more like the management
Yeah,
side of things, right?
Mhm.
But like yeah, like if I'm not even hands on. Like trying to get me to do something is like trying to pull tooth, right? I don't even like getting my nails dirty, just being real.
Oh my God!
Like real talk. Like,
I get
unless
my
if it's for my own kids.
I
But
get
other
in
than
there.
that, like
I
nah, I'm
get my
all
hands
set.
dirty.
I did that flip. I did get dirty on that flip, but I told myself never again. But like, yeah, if you have a skill set in renovating homes or just doing work with your hands,
I'll
that
be
comes in handy and that could actually save you some money.
Yeah, it can.
that them little things add up, man.
They
I'm telling you
do
right now.
add up,
Listen,
bro.
if you get a quote to paint, like do the
Oh yeah,
interiors
yeah,
for
yeah,
$6,000, I'm sorry.
yeah. Taking a week
I've
off.
just become a
Yeah,
painter.
that's what I said.
I became a painter, and I'm gonna show you my skills. I think I told you I'm a little ambidextrous when it comes to the cutting in. No, I
4 hours
get
of YouTube.
busy.
Yeah, 4 hours of YouTube,
I
and then
get
I'm
Yo,
getting
you
to.
can
busy.
learn. Painting is easy. I think painting is
Easy.
easy. There's
That's
certain
how I
things
see it.
that
I
could
just
be
go.
done.
I go. Ooh, $6,000 in
Put
my
that in my
pocket, and
pocket.
I just do my little thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta do what
Yeah,
you
you
gotta
know what's
do.
crazy, right? I got this idea of like doing this whole thing, this whole new setup from that other girl who came on, who does the thrift shop thing. Like was
Oh
on the show.
yeah,
What's her name?
Oh,
Joanna.
Joanna. Yep,
Joanna.
Joanna,
painting
Yeah.
by the
painting
penny.
by the penny.
Yo.
Shout out
Yep.
to Joanna,
Yeah.
man.
And I follow her on Instagram now ever since she came on the podcast, and she seems like she's been blowing up. I see
Yeah.
her doing
Yeah,
like
she's
a lot of
doing.
Yeah,
different like
she's
Yeah,
lit.
remodels. Like she's remodeling like offices and stuff, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just
yeah,
like
that's what I'm saying. And she ain't doing it for
Joanna's
free.
dope. Nah, and
she's
she
doing it for
charged.
free.
No,
No,
Oh, I
I
thought
said
you
she
said she's
she
doing
ain't.
it
charged.
for free.
No,
I was
Nah,
like,
she
what?
ain't doing it for
listen,
free.
Yeah, yeah, I should have had her
that's
come
one
over
girl that
here.
deserves to get paid for her service.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
she's on point with this shit, man.
Yep. And she
Real
got a
talk.
good eye for design, and she be
Yeah,
getting in there. Used to, her partner, her son, they be getting in there doing their
yeah.
little,
They do
their
their thing.
outside stuff. And
Yeah, I like that. I like the content that she puts out because it's not like it's not super expensive
Yeah,
stuff, and it's like the remodels are crazy. I'm like, damn, this shit looks like a premium now.
yeah.
Like you just turn a simple room into like a really nice like feeling premium look in the
Yeah.
house,
yeah,
right?
It's crazy because I'd be questioning myself: would I spend money on thrift stuff, or I just go out and just buy expensive stuff and call it a
I'll
day?
the
be
thing is,
honest, man. The thrift stuff looks more high, like it,
High
it,
end.
it looks more high end, and it's just like real wood.
well, the quality is
Looks real,
different
yeah,
Yeah,
thrifting. So
yeah.
there's just some things that I feel like, at least when I shop and I'm decorating my house, like I like some thrifting things, some things new, but there's nothing like what like old wood used
Yeah,
to
yeah,
be.
yeah,
I
for
actually
real.
saw a post where they were comparing new lumber to old lumber,
Mhm.
yeah,
and because trees are being grown like quickly, the wood is just softer.
Yeah.
So when you cut a 2x4, you can see like the swirls,
yeah,
Mm,
from
yeah,
the
yeah.
tree. There's less of those swirls in new lumber.
mm.
Like old lumber, like an old 2x4, you'll see that the swirls are like the lines are closer to each
Yeah.
other. The wood is denser, it's harder, it's
Well, a lot of this
stronger.
stuff is laminated too. So if you think about it, even like a table like this is laminated.
Mm.
So with real wood, what happens is you chip it on something, one of the kids chip it, bro. You just putting some like putty on there,
Yeah.
you're
Right.
resurfacing it,
Sand
you
it,
painting it
all
right
that.
back to the
Yeah.
same color. So you
But
can
even
redo it every
old
single time.
laminate,
Yeah.
it was made better. Like
Oh
I
yeah,
bought
yeah.
a house built in 1969. Everything, it was a custom house, all original, had pink cabinets,
Mm.
and they're laminate because that's when like that real clean modern
Yeah.
look was
Yeah.
coming in. People were doing like sunken living rooms and all that like cool shit that you see
Yeah.
like in the 60s and the 70s. And we just painted our cabinets because I wasn't ripping out this kitchen. It was going to cost me too much money.
Yeah.
And even that quality is not the same
No,
As a
no.
that you
quality
see
today.
today.
Yeah.
No, like these
Even
cabinets are still in fantastic
Yeah,
shape.
these things you get.
even
No,
the
that you get
houses.
if that goes outside and gets a little water
Yeah,
on
yeah. That's
it,
what I
It's
was gonna say.
done.
Even
it's
if there's
gonna
a little
go.
water.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
the houses itself, you really think about it, especially living in New England, majority of the homes in New England are over 100 years old. And they still standing. Like all
Yeah.
these new homes that's being built right now is like they're not. I don't think they're gonna last. They're not gonna test it. What's that saying?
The test.
T- t-
See, I don't
they're
like
not.
when you
They,
speak because you mess me up.
don't blame me. Don't blame me. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna
Stand
stand the test of time.
time.
A lot of these, god damn, what's struggling right now? Yeah, I don't think a lot of the new construction that's being built right now is gonna have that same longevity as homes that were built in 1800s. We literally still have homes built from the
Yeah.
1800s
And I
that
don't
people
think that's
still live
beef
until
with
this
builders.
day.
That's just materials.
Quality
That's just
materials,
what it is.
quality materials.
Yeah, I
You
agree.
know, we don't have that same quality.
No, not from where it was before. Well, I have this conversation before with somebody, and it's like they're like, "Oh, I don't want to move." They moved away from Rhode Island. I don't want to move back to Rhode Island because all the houses they're old. Like,
Mm.
and you got Florida, you got Texas. They're building brand new homes.
Bro,
And
but those homes are also getting flooded and getting blown away by
Exactly, so-
And you
hurricanes.
can't get insurance.
And you can't get up here at least.
Like,
Shoot, it could be a snowstorm. You could stay in your house, right?
but I
Like,
also think that you can't, like, if investing in real estate, you're taking a risk.
yeah,
And that's why not everybody does it because there are risks associated. Knowing like the hurricane that was going down
Florida.
in Florida, I was like, yo, if that comes up north, my Airbnb is gone.
mm,
And
think
I'm very aware of that.
Yeah.
And I said it the other day to somebody, like very matter of fact like that. And they're like, oh my God, why would you say that? And I'm like clutching their pearls. I'm like, because that's the inevitable. Like
Yeah.
I have the insurance for it. If it happens, I'm gonna be fine. But like there's
Yeah.
nothing I can do. My house is 200 feet from a river.
yeah.
If that river, if the White River rises, like some of these rivers did in Florida and North Carolina and stuff,
Your shit will be
gone.
gone.
Why am
Yeah.
it's what
I
it
think
is.
people do forget that you're paying for location too. Like, over here you get all 4 seasons. you're close by the water. If you like the water and you got a boat or stuff like
Nah,
that.
New England is
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
the
And
best
easy to
coast.
travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Like
You
I
many
got
can be
states
in so
around
many
you.
states.
Yeah, so many
Texas, you
states.
drive for like
And you
8,
can
10
go
hours. You
Canada.
still in Texas.
You can
Yeah.
go Canada with no worries. Like
Right.
it's crazy.
Yeah,
Like
it's tough to leave here because once you like you get used to like 10-minute driving everywhere.
yeah, man.
Once you put in an address and you move somewhere else or you visiting
And you know
somebody
that I
and,
gotta
and
drive
they
4 hours to the next
yeah,
city.
like
That's wild.
two
Like,
and a half hours. Yeah, we'll be
yo.
there. I'm like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like,
Well, my house
we're
in
going to New
Vermont.
Hampshire?
Yeah,
Yo, for real,
my
like,
house in
going
Vermont,
on?
like the supermarket's 30 minutes away.
Oh
Yeah.
hell no!
And,
See?
Just to
but
go
it's
get
so
some.
funny when I'm
Nah.
here. When I'm here, I want the supermarket to be like 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
And then and then when I go there, I'm like, oh, it's quick, 30-minute drive, no big deal. Let's hop in the
Yeah,
car.
nothing
No,
It's
much.
that's 30 there,
crazy.
30 back,
That's
about
an
15
hour.
there. That's
Yeah,
that's
but
an hour and
but it's so
15.
crazy
Yeah.
the way
Oh.
like the brain works
Yeah.
because here I would be pissed if I had to drive 30 minutes to get to a market
Oh, that
there.
The brain adjusts to its environment.
Also,
That's
I don't live there, so that there's that. Like
Mm.
I'm only there sometimes.
All
it.
right.
Gotcha.
Let me go on here. So this is one of the other questions that I had on here. So I think this is Angela that talked about like paying your bills and the credit cards off.
Oh
Mm.
yeah.
So that's a thing that's been like, I don't know if people have been watching that, but a lot of people have been spending a lot of money on their credit cards now
Yeah.
lately because of everything going up. So they've been putting like stuff on credit cards, and like credit cards are like max high right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
And one thing that I noticed is like the credit card industry is like increasing everybody's limits.
Mm.
I don't know if you're seeing that, but
Oh,
like
and they're
just put that-
switching out. Like somebody was just telling me like Kohl's
Mhm.
has now like it's
They-
like you could use it anywhere.
yeah,
Like
that
it's like
Oh,
an
yeah.
actual credit card. It's not just for Kohl's.
I think that's the
They're
same.
like they're becoming more like
I
a
feel
bank.
I feel
Doesn't
like they're,
Apple have the same thing?
Yeah, but Apple's different.
No, but don't they have a credit card where
Yeah.
you could use it
I
anywhere?
don't know.
I feel like they're just like all these companies are proving everybody.
Mm.
Like you're gonna it don't matter what your credit is, you're getting something. You're gonna leave with the store with at least 500. You know, you're gonna shop today. I think that's what is going on. It's like they're proving you. That's why they're so like, hey, do you have the card everywhere you go? Hey, do you have
Yeah.
do you have the Cold card, the Coles card? Oh,
Nope.
hey, do you have the Walmart?
Nope.
It's like nah.
Nope.
It's because they're proving everybody and everybody's getting.
I tell them no
Yeah.
with a mean face. So,
But
like,
you remember
don't even
back in
try
the
to
day,
sell.
it was like, oh, you got denied. Like you would go
No,
get a
back
cell
in the
phone.
back in the days, I felt like it was easier, especially when you
What?
were in college.
Oh, nah.
What?
I think
It was
early.
easy.
Once you hit 18,
18?
yo, Capital One was on
They
it.
dangling that credit
Capital
card in
One,
front of you, like
Capital One. I
right
remember
here.
Capital One was my first credit card at 18. And
Yeah.
it was because they were like, here's $1,000. And I was like, oh.
Maybe it was like I get like the credit card company like Capital One and what's the other one and the Chase and stuff like that. But I'm
Yeah.
talking about like I feel like the businesses are.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Like, if you're anywhere, you
like she
sign
said,
up. They,
Kohl's
Yeah,
or
yeah,
like,
like all the small businesses
yeah.
are, and then that's considered like she said, they're considered credit cards now
Yeah.
because what's happening is they just slapping a logo. You can use it anywhere.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, your interest rate is low here at this store, but when you go, it's 25 wherever else you go. Use
Yeah.
it.
so there's a saying, you can go broke while trying to save.
Mm.
People forget that.
Mm,
So when you're at like a store that gives you like cash back,
yeah,
they're doing it to get like
it's a
let's say
mental
Kohl's
thing.
cash or something, so then they can go back.
Mhm.
And for me, the only reward that's worth it is using travel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like if I'm buying gas anyway, you might as well give me a little bit of something so I can hop on a plane eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's to me the only thing that's
Yeah.
worth it.
I like that. Yeah, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I
because
love
the
it.
travel you got to plan it out and it
Yeah.
has to be like a time available. So you're kind of
And
more a
plus, if
little
you
bit
don't
more
have
conscious.
the cash on, you have the card, you
Yeah.
have the points to
Yeah.
utilize.
But yeah, the credit thing is it's scary in this industry to see what people like the debts that they rack up. It's even sadder when they're racking up the debt because they have no choice. Like it's different
You
when
think
like
they're using it for like to pay off?
yeah,
like,
people are
bills
buying
and
their
stuff.
groceries.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what they're
shit's expensive right now, bro. If people don't have cash on hand, the one thing they're gonna resort to is credit, man. Like it's just easier. It's
You think it's
accessible.
gonna be a point where like landlords take credit cards, or do they already do it now?
Ooh, that's
do you
a
know?
good question. I don't
that could
know
be
that. I
so
got
exploitive.
research.
Like,
I
that could
I
be.
need to research that. That's actually something I'm intrigued.
Because
I don't
honestly,
wanna mess
no,
up
no.
the screen.
Because honestly, that's then that opens up the gate to like the credit card companies even going up higher, man.
Yeah.
Because
That's
if people are
crazy.
like, oh
That'd
yeah,
be
I'm just gonna put it on
messy.
my credit card, and then next month come, oh, I didn't pay it all
but
off.
then
I'm gonna
what
put it on
If
my
happens,
credit
credit
card
card.
companies were smart, they wouldn't do that. They
Mm-mm.
wouldn't. They
I
shouldn't
don't
do
know
that.
if they would.
If they are doing it, they should put a stop to that.
I don't know if
Do you
anyone
know
is
of
doing
like
that.
people that use like a credit? Like does everybody? I don't know. Like I don't know if like what do you call it? multi-units or people who rent? Like, how do they usually collect the rent? Is it like through credit cards, check, or cash? Like,
No, not
how
credit
do you normally
cards.
collect a rent from somebody?
Like for me, there's an app that my clients be using. They use the app where the tenants pay through the app.
Hmm.
So are they able to put a credit card there and pay you through a credit
Nah, I
card?
think unless you have a
No,
debit card,
Oh,
it's
unless
usually,
you have a
yeah, it's
debit card,
debit
that's probably the furthest.
or
That, or
ACH basically.
exactly,
oh,
If
okay,
you're
okay.
using,
So they gotta put their routing number and stuff
yeah,
like that. All right.
or
I
just
didn't
use
know
your
if there was
card.
like apps that people are paying on if they're already doing it now, like
I think it
credit
makes
I
it
cards.
so easy
wonder
now because you can
Cash App. If
Zelle,
you
you
had
can Cash
Cash
App,
App, yeah,
you could Zelle, you could Cash App, you could Venmo, you can
Well,
use all of
Zelle and
those.
Cash App, I think those are tied to like routing numbers. So I don't think you can do
yeah,
credit cards on those.
You can do debit cards, but you can't put credit
You
cards.
can't put credit cards. The
exactly.
Yeah.
only one that would do it is PayPal.
Mm,
That's the one that will let you switch out from an
Mhm.
actual bank account to your credit card.
gotcha.
So I don't know if people are
Oh,
taking
I don't know.
PayPal
I would
That's
hope
payments.
nobody
interesting.
does that because
Yeah,
that would be crazy.
What?
yeah. People will be
Because then
definitely
look at
jamming
the
themselves
interest
up.
rate that you're paying. Unless you're paying that off before you accrue the interest,
That's one
that would
thing.
be wild. Like if you're already in debt,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah,
you're
yeah.
paying
Now
the
you're
interest
paying
on
it.
top of your like 1900 $1,900 rent, that's
So,
crazy.
so this one here, this is a thing that actually affected me here too, man. This EP bridge,
Oh
East
yeah.
Providence Bridge.
I think that's one that was an important topic that we had during that episode because we also discussed how the possibility of it affecting appraisal values for those who live in East
Yeah.
Providence. I don't think personally it detrimented any appraisal values by anything. From what I've seen, the only thing that it really affected is people's commute, basically during work hours when they're going to work
Hmm.
and evening hours, which is also the trap. But other than that, it's been smooth. I don't know what they did to resolve it, but it's been
No,
pretty
it depends
smooth
on the
lately.
time because
It
I've
That's
depends
what
been
on
I'm
the
saying.
time.
I still been
It's still a little
caught.
crazy. It just
I
depends
still
on
It's
the
been
in the
time.
caught.
evening time
Yeah, yeah.
and the peak hours,
Yeah, and I think
morning and
people have found different
I,
routes
routes. Yeah,
around. Like,
I think they got away with it a little bit more on the summer times. The kids weren't in school, but the
yep.
moment
yeah.
the school buses started going out, it got crazy again. So like
Mm.
it's crazier now when the school opened up for the kids. So it got back to the way it was before the summer.
All
Yeah.
right,
So
Something
now
interesting.
that
it's
So
we
I
yeah,
guess I
didn't
missed
talk
that.
about
yeah.
though is kind of like I know people that actually have fears of bridges
Yeah,
and what that did to them, like
Really?
mentally. Yeah, there's people that's like a real
I
phobia.
do have a fair bridge.
Like
What
It
it,
depends on how
people,
big the bridge
there are
hey,
is.
but let me
people.
ask you a question. So you're driving and you get to this bridge. Like what is what do you do? You're gonna
You
turn.
know,
You're gonna
that's
turn
actually a good.
over.
Nah, that's actually because me personally, I do have a fair bridge. When I
Yeah.
go over like the Newport Bridge, it depends on how big the bridge is, right?
See, I
Like
don't have a fear of bridges. I understand what could potentially happen on a
Mhm.
Yeah,
bridge.
yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, like I'd be like, damn, like this is like a bridge is scary when you think about
Yeah,
it, but I don't have an actual fear. Like my heart's not like
nah, my heart
palpitating
kind
out
of
of my
paces
chest.
sometimes.
No, but there are people that do
Who-
feel like that, and knowing that there is an issue with the bridge.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Mm.
what
That.
I mean.
I
Like
mean,
if
yeah. I always think about it every time I go over. Like, man, is this thing safe for
Safe,
us
right,
yeah,
to?
right. Is
We
it
got four
nighttime?
lanes on one side. Like, is this
yeah.
supposed to hold four
Yeah,
lanes
yeah,
on one
yeah,
side? So yeah, I see where you're going with that one,
yeah.
but I I just feel like if you have a fear, like you're
Nah,
driving, you're gonna turn away and pull over
no,
right there, or you kind of just like, what's the?
it's
It's just
crazy.
going over it that you like kind of think about. Is that what it is? That just crosses your mind when you're going over the bridge?
He's the one that's scared.
Because
Listen,
I,
I said I'm scared of. All right, you twisted my words, Ange.
I don't know. Tell us about
Like,
your scare,
when you
your
twist the
fear.
Newport Bridge and like what was it the Los Angeles? I could only imagine going up that the Golden
Oh,
Gate Bridge.
the San
San
Francisco.
Francisco
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bridge,
yeah.
yeah.
that looks insane to me, you know. But like the East Providence Bridge, it's not that bad. But I can only imagine when the engineer was when he found out that when he found out the issue, and then they noticed that kind of like sway a little bit.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
nerve
bridges
wracking.
are, I guess, I'm not an engineer, but I think they are supposed to sway to a certain extent
So
in
they
order
don't. Yeah,
to
they're
Yeah,
supposed to be
but
like
when
accommodate
flexible.
winds
Yeah,
and
yeah.
things like
yeah,
that.
but the way he would the I guess whatever what's in like the bolts or whatever it is
Oh
that
yeah,
when that was loose, they said it was like kind of swaying and it shouldn't have
yeah,
done
that's
that.
scary.
That's scary.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question, right? I got a question here that I really kind of want to ask you guys because you guys are both realtors. Are you guys seeing like more of like the high end people buying homes nowadays, or is it like is it like I feel like middle class, which is like 40, 50K, is not buying homes right now.
If you make 40, 50K,
You're not
You're,
buying
that,
them.
you're not buying a home.
you don't have skin in the game.
Like
Yeah.
who
Unfortunately.
is buying homes right now? Because
People
they're being
that,
sold.
yeah,
So multifamilies are being sold, single families are being sold, but it's like, when middle income is 40 to 50 grand.
that's not middle
I'm
income.
just
That's
like,
not
who's
middle income.
That's not
That's
that's
middle
not
low
middle
income.
income?
income.
That's
That's
low
low
income?
income.
That's
Oh
low
shit.
income.
Middle, even I almost feel like 100K is low income to a degree.
So you
But
have
it's
to
not.
Ramon has told us it's like 90,000.
Yeah, you have to
90,000
80 to
yeah,
is
90,000 is what you need
just to
to
get your
just to
foot
get
in.
your foot in the
Yeah,
door.
90,000 though.
90,000.
Salary
And then
annually.
on top of that, if you had 90,000, your debt needs to be as low as possible,
Hmm.
very low, basically none, to be able to
Bro,
get
what
this
does
through.
90,000 get you a month? Who's making 90,000?
Well,
Like
it
like
depends.
what's
If you really think, there's people that make
Yeah.
$90,000
No, but I'm
easy.
saying like what is a 90,000 salary a month is? Like you're saying there's people like middle
Well,
in the
that's
middle?
gross.
Is that like
That's yearly
middle income
gross.
those? Like you saying that's
Yeah,
middle
yearly,
income is a
yearly.
damn, I thought I thought
That's
I
the
thought
that's
40 50 was middle
nah,
income.
No,
forget
No?
that.
no,
That's
that's low income
pre-COVID. That's
now.
pre-COVID. That's
That's
low
low. That's
income.
low income
That's
for
low
sure.
income.
Really?
Yeah,
Shit, yo.
bro. Now, like you gotta make at least for me, even a safe bet, I think at least a hard 100.
But
You know what I
like
mean?
I'm saying, like, so what's an hour? Like, you work 40 hours. What's 40 hours? Who's got to do the math?
I
Let's
don't
see.
know. Don't
For the
ask
you
me to
can't you
do
can't you
math.
can't do the math on that because not regular people depending on what their hourly wages.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
You know,
somebody who makes 100K a year, how much are they making on an hourly rate? They work 40 hours.
100K, yeah, you're probably making like what almost
I
maybe
don't know.
8 grand a month or something like that, 85.
Don't
Hold
ask
on,
me.
I'll do
I'm gonna
it
make
here.
You
Hold
know,
on,
myself
let
look
me
but
see.
silly
it's
without a
like
calculator.
because 10 grand is 120 a year,
So
right?
so you
So it's
making a
probably
hundred?
about
Yeah,
85.
you making 100K a year. You
Mhm.
making 100K
Before taxes. Let's
So
before tax
gross.
before. Yeah.
divided by 12. Yo, you're making 83
All right.
83 a month.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Divide that by four.
close enough, you
You're
genius.
making 2 G's a week.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Divide that by 40 hours. So you gotta be making $52 an hour to make
yeah,
100 grand right now.
yeah.
Mhm. And
To
that's
buy
just
to
listen. We could talk about
with
how
no
we don't
debt to
like
buy
those
a
numbers or
house.
With
whatever,
no
but
debt.
that is what it is.
Yeah,
With no debt to
with
buy a
no
house.
debt and
Or
when we say
minimal.
minimal, it's minimal debt.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So it's just
That's crazy
it's
to
the
me,
new
yo.
reality. It's the
Yo,
new reality.
$52 an hour,
It's the
bro.
new reality, bro.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, Rhode Island's median income is only 41,000. So
What do you guys think is like a decent pay right now? I know minimum wage is up now, right? Like I see like McDonald's hiring for like 16,
a
17 dollars
decent
an
a
hour.
decent pay, like you said, is $52 an hour, bro.
Yeah.
Before
Unfortunately, that's what
yo,
it is,
Well, I
bro.
mean, so and we're talking about overall income, right? So
I just feel
if
like
you're dual, that could
52,000.
work. So if you're working, I don't want to sound like I'm discouraging people, but
Mhm.
this is again, know your numbers,
Yeah, yeah.
regardless. So if it's two people in a household and you're both mate in total, you're making 100,000. You're not gonna be able to like be like balling,
Mhm.
but you'll be comfortable, and you're probably in what we would consider like lower middle class,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I say that only to say because yo, if you think about it, right, they make so you got to be making 100K a year to just rent, own a decent car, and have a
Rent,
savings pretty
rent. I
much.
think rent's different. I think rent you could probably swing about 70, 75.
They're asking for you to make 70K to
I
be
think
able to
rent's
rent.
different,
Yeah.
and it depends on where you're looking to rent to.
Damn, my kids ain't going nowhere for a minute. Yo,
But you
straight out
know,
of school,
but
go right to work, and they're
nah,
gonna
but
make
like
they're gonna make 70K.
my daughter
No,
just got an apartment in one of the new apartment complexes that they
Mhm.
just finished building in Providence, right? They building them for low income earners, right? But they go off what you make, what you've earned for the year,
Mhm.
right? So you have was it the Omni Group or not the Omni Group?
Don't ask
I've,
me.
these developers that are getting funding from the state, from the federal funding
oh,
from
that's
the
what I
state.
meant to ask you. So
So
is
to do
there
lower
programs
income.
now that are for renters? Is that
Yeah,
what's going
that's
on?
all these properties that you're seeing being built, especially on the lower south side,
Yeah.
is from these corporate companies that's receiving funding from local and federal government to be able to accommodate low income individuals.
How long does that work for though? Like how long are you getting this discount or are you getting like a like help assistance for the rentals? Is
It
that like
depends on it depends on what your trajectory is in life, right? So if you plan to grow financially and not stay
So the more money you make,
The, the more
the less
money,
work the less help they give you, pretty much.
well, no, the more money you make, you're gonna live according to what you earn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're making less money, you're gonna try to find an affordable situation for yourself. You
No,
dig what I'm
If
saying?
you're if you're renting one of these units and say it's like a one bedroom, but after years you've worked your way up in your company, you're making more money. Logically, most people are going
Level up to the next phase.
to move out of that situation. It might be good, it might be nice and comfortable, but what if now they're gonna have kids or they're gonna get
yeah.
married and
Mm.
things like as you grow, so does your space, and same thing, it shrinks. It's like the opposite of downsizing,
But is that something that's coming out now? Is that like rental assist? Is that what is that called exactly?
There's rental assistance
Yeah.
Oh,
everywhere.
there is. Oh,
Everyone
I didn't.
should reach out to whatever their local government is. They have them all over. There are resources. I'm not gonna sit up there and try to pretend like oh, it's for
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah,
You're gonna get
Yeah.
into an
yeah.
apartment next week, but there are resources and programs if you are like lower income and need that kind of assistance.
Exactly.
Bro, I'm just thinking like these like the kids that are getting out of school, do 4 years in college, whatever, just to come out and then
Again, know your numbers.
70K. Who's making like 70K right out of school with
Some
with
people
no
are. It
These
experience?
depends
kids
on
Yeah.
that yo,
and
there's a
it
lot of these kids that's
depends
making
on
guap.
and it depends on what you're going into, right? Like if you're gonna go to me, you're gonna go to school, let's just say for business because you want to own a business. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I was accepted to Bryant. I didn't go initially out of high school because I didn't get financial aid. And I was like, I can't see myself spending $120,000 for 4 years. And that's just like flat at what it would cost. That's not including
Yeah.
books and
Yeah.
traveling there and all that. And for me to potentially like manage a bank,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know?
that's
And I
crazy.
did work at a bank and I was a supervisor, but I couldn't imagine myself having that student debt because I had
Yeah.
people that worked under me that had MBAs and I had no degree. And I used to have to tell them, like, but your time will come. Like, you'll be my boss soon.
Yeah.
And it's true. If I would have stayed there, they would have been my bosses because then I would have had maybe 15 years working experience with no degree. They would have had 7 years working experience with an MBA
Yeah.
and they're in that experience.
Yeah.
So I think there are things that um, or degrees that you can get that will get you a nice
Yeah, I
salary.
would say nowadays it's like you should know exactly what 4 years in college is gonna get you when you're done. What type of like career right away you're gonna jump into and what it's gonna pay for
Not
like an
even
entry level.
know what type
Hmm.
of career you should. If you're going to school, you should get a degree in a field that's going to generate income, whether it's nursing.
I don't agree with that.
I kind of do. The reason why I do agree is because my generation, not
Mhm.
sure about your generation, we went to
We
school
are
for.
not that much. He's trying to make
I'm
it.
not making us sound
Yeah,
low,
yeah.
We're like
but our
5
generation,
years apart.
all right, whatever, Angie, you're still a baby. Our generation, right? We went to school for a lot of the wrong things, secretarial stuff, like when they used to have Catherine Gibbs and all this other
Mm.
dumb stuff. Like I feel like we didn't go to school for the right to receive or obtain the right degree. I think if you're gonna go to college and you're gonna spend 100K in college, college is for lawyers. To me personally, doctors, nurses, accountants, industries like that. That's just me. Everybody's different, but for me, that's what makes sense.
I honestly think that anybody going to college should at least take at least a year of business.
Oh yeah, that yeah, definitely. I
I
agree.
think I
I
think
agree.
so, but I don't believe that. I don't think everybody is wants to or needs to have like a crazy amount of money, and not everyone wants to. And I
No,
say
there's people that are happy that they don't need the
they
newest
don't.
car.
They
Yeah, they're
right. They're
not they don't
very
value like those little things like not little things like material things.
right,
So
and
they're okay
so
with like, oh, I bought this car, I had it since I bought it new, and I keep on driving it until it breaks down
Yeah.
300K.
I think as a society, though, we are very bad at saying things like, "Oh, you're gonna go to school for art" or
Yeah.
something like that, and kind of diminishing those types of things.
Yeah.
Where I
See, that
think
one's tough for me, yeah,
but being
because
an
like
artist, it
you,
can
you
be
you
lucrative.
can.
Like I wish somebody told me makeup artistry would would have gotten me would make me the money that I
Yeah.
make doing
Yeah.
weddings.
But
Like nobody told me that. For me, it was always being like a start. You can't do art. Now
Mhm.
me, I'm actually good at art. I
Yeah.
was always good at painting.
Same
Every
here.
art medium I touched, I was good at, but nobody was encouraging me to pursue that. And who knows where I would be if I would have pursued it. There are plenty of people that are successful and make money
Doing
and are doing art, for
But
instance.
you also got to think about, like, we can't really say that because we don't know how life would have turned out to be,
I agree.
right?
But I'm
Like,
just saying, like, when I go back to saying know your numbers, would it have been smart for me to go to an art school that's going to cost me
yeah.
$300,000 for 4 years, knowing that at like a base start for like, I don't know, some kind of like museum curator, like I don't even know what they make, but let's just say it's $80,000 a year. That wouldn't make sense, right? I would want to find a different path to pursue
Within that,
art
yeah, before art.
so that I'm not in crazy debt. But maybe I also don't want to be crazy rich. That's okay. It's just a matter of not overextending yourself in attending an institution that you're never going to be able to pay
yeah.
back, knowing that you are entering in a field that's not going to make millions of
Yeah.
dollars.
And sometimes you don't even need to go to school, as long as if you have a really skillful talent like videography,
Yeah.
stuff like that, and you network, because a lot of times success comes from network. There's that saying, your network is your net worth. If you surround yourself with individuals, or you just network with the right people because you have the right skill set, that also brings in income. So you really don't need college too, unfortunately. What's up with
Network.
The net.
the network?
Oh, she's trying. Gotta make sure
I'm
we
like, yo,
have
why
the
you look
name
at me all
there.
crazy? Gotcha.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, so we're gonna ask this question right here. This is one of like the ones here that might start something.
Oh God.
What was your favorite episode
Ooh, my favorite
from
episode.
the year?
My
It's hard because I don't
episode.
And
want to
it's
offend
okay. I
anyone.
mean, we're
Yeah.
not, you know,
I know I don't want to
I think
offend anyone, but
You
my
are
favorite
not
was with Ray.
offending nobody.
My favorite
Stop.
was with Ray.
Rail.
Yeah.
That was
Ray who's
Rail, the psychologist, therapist.
oh, the therapist. Yeah, I like that. I was
That was my
listening to that one.
favorite.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
Ray.
therapy talk.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love like talking about the way the mind works and how like changing your mindset can change you, and I just love that. And I love that people are taking like mental health seriously,
Yeah.
and it's across all different like backgrounds. This is I know there's still some people that they're a little in the dark ages when it comes to therapy and mental health,
Yeah.
but for like those of us that are like loving it and all about it, I love it. It makes me a better person, I feel like.
I don't think I have a favorite, to be honest with you. I think with all the episodes that we've done, I've learned a lot from each one. You know, there's really everybody had their own unique story, their own unique success, their path to success. And I think that was a fascinating thing about bringing these individuals on, right? To be able to open up the viewers'
Yeah, you
eyes
see, you
to what these individuals gone through to be able to establish the success that they've earned. So yeah, every episode that we created was definitely amazing and unique in its own way.
Yeah, I like
That's
them,
just
but the
me.
two like after calls, because we tend to call each other after.
yeah.
Yeah.
The ones that I was most excited about was Ray and going to Rhode Island Finest.
Yeah,
Those were my two favorite. Like after those conversations, like I was actually hyped.
That one
Like,
was cool.
Yeah.
I
I
like that
love
one.
that
Yeah,
we did
yeah.
this. Like
Yeah.
really really excited. Those
Yeah.
two. I did like everybody else. Like I can tell you something nice about every single episode, but those two really made me excited.
What's
Now-
the one thing you could say that you guys dislike?
What?
I got an episode that I liked, and I got an episode I didn't like.
Like,
Oh,
If
tell
you guys
us.
are cool with that.
Yeah, definitely.
So I liked one of my favorite episodes was with Walter King.
Hmm.
I was in the back like, oh,
I
damn.
watched the episode. I wasn't on for that one.
Oh,
I liked it though.
I was
I've
like,
seen
oh,
it.
this
Yeah.
man's talking.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Like I feel like he was like just being like, I don't know if he was just talking. It was some good
I think
content.
Walter stirred up a lot of shit with other
Yeah,
investors,
yeah, I
to
was
be
like,
honest.
man.
Low key, I've had the opportunity to talk to other.
I was like,
I think he
yo,
stirred up
this-
Yeah,
some
I
stuff.
follow him, and I think he has like interesting takes, and I do like, I like his takes on.
Yeah, I
things.
was like in the back, and I was like, oh, and I'm just there listening to it, and I was like, oh shit. But yeah, that one right there, I think that was like my top right now so far. That one, and the one I dislike, honestly, was the man. I'm gonna be honest.
I
don't know.
Why is that?
I just felt like it was like he was just like too scripted.
Mm.
I feel like, and I know it's not you guys' issue. I know it's like he's on a, he's got a PA, was that a personal assistant that's telling them, but he just felt too scripted.
I think for that, like when it comes to like political figures, they play too much of that perfection type image, right? And there's so much that they try to avoid saying
Mm-hmm.
because they are in the political
Where
space
it goes back to that
and they
question
don't
you guys
want,
said, yeah,
yeah.
like you don't want to, you don't want to say too much, and so.
But at the same time, it's one of those it's one of those things. Like I feel like if you could be as authentic but still genuine and let people see you for who you are, I think people will receive you a lot better,
Yeah.
right? But it becomes an issue where like people you're forcing people to read between the line. And it seems like you're hiding things under the radar, and people are now like, all right, they got to figure out what you're saying, or
Yeah,
just
they leave it gray.
they leave it
Yeah.
way too gray. And I
I
think
don't
that
like
issue with
I don't
politics.
like politics. When
Yeah,
we
I hate
first
politics
when he
myself too.
approached me to do this, I was like, I don't
She
want
was
to talk.
so
Yeah.
I was
against
like,
it.
he was like, what? It's like, what things are like off the table for
Yeah.
you? I was like, I don't want to talk about politics.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like to. I am a big politics person. Like
Mm-hmm.
behind the scenes, I'm watching
Well,
everything. I'm following local things. Like I'm on top of it because I don't like being ignorant
Yeah.
to things to me that are that important. I just don't like to talk about them because I know a lot of people don't take the
yeah,
time
yeah.
and the
Politics
care.
is like
I think a
I
lot of
hate
people don't
yeah,
take
you
politics.
the
don't want to.
time and the care to actually do research and
Yeah.
figure things out, but then everybody wants to talk about it. It's like
It's a sensitive subject
everybody
that
has
a
an
lot of
It's
people.
like
asshole,
talking about
right? Like
religion. It's too
everybody,
Yeah.
no,
sensitive.
no, not even that. Like to me, religion's different, but I think because given the fact that we have so much access online, it lends like everyone has an opinion about it as they should, right? We're all involved in politics in some way, shape, or form. It affects us, but I can't help it. But when stupid people talk politics, it infuriates me. Like you sound so dumb,
Yeah.
sir. So or ma'am. Um, and so that's why I don't like engaging because I don't mind talking to somebody
I
that
know.
has done research and we can have this back and forth. But if you got your information by watching a few memes and a few
Yeah.
clips from an
On
election,
social.
like a social, like a
Yeah.
an election debate or something,
Well,
I
that's
don't
that
necessarily
all
I don't
ties
want to
back.
talk to
You
you.
know, that's what I was saying. Like, there's people that just be like making, uh, YouTube channels, and they just know a little bit, and they
Yeah.
got clips, and it's like they barely even know any
Yeah.
information
Because
that the
That's why I
people,
don't
person.
talk.
That's
I
what's crazy
personally
about it.
don't like even public spaces where I'm engaging with people. I it's so minuscule in terms of like the type of conversation or the engaging conversations that I do have when I'm amongst friends or like when I'm amongst friends is different, right? Because I could really open up the way I want to open up. But when I'm outside of
Yeah.
friends, I try to like really tread lightly with that. I will more so sit back and just listen to
Just
get everybody's viewpoint versus engaging heavily in regard in the conversation, is because it's relatively easy to offend somebody,
hmm
and once you do that in a political space where where there cannot be a common ground, where all right we're here to agree to disagree type of situation, but it becomes more like now we're beefing over this.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nah, I'm
You
all
don't want to
set
put
with
it.
that shit. You know,
I will tell you this though, the other guy that was on that was talking, I forget Enrique.
Enrique
Yeah, yeah.
Sanchez.
Yeah, yeah. He was actually really open about a lot of
Yeah,
things, and I like that interview too. That
Yeah,
was pretty cool.
yeah. I mean,
That he
like
was
you
able
said,
to answer questions.
yeah.
Oh, we do this part time. Oh, we only make 40 grand. Yeah.
He's currently disliking May Smiley's
Oh, he does.
oh my gosh, I guess the son that has to do with the school department where Miss Smiley wants the school department a son to cuff up some dough or some shit like that. I forgot, but Enrique posted it up, and I don't think like what's going on
yeah.
with what Brett Smiley's doing.
I think we should just normalize like if you don't know something about a topic,
Yeah,
oh, oh,
just say I don't know.
oh.
Sorry about that, guys.
Well, let's
Damn, that's Smiley calling.
That's actually my daughter, my beloved
no, but we
daughter.
need to normalize like just shutting up when you don't know something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if somebody starts talking about like if you started talking about photography,
Yeah.
like other than that looks good, I don't really have anything to contribute.
Yeah.
You start talking about lenses besides like, oh, I know I have a zoom lens, I have a wide angle lens.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I'm not going to give my opinion. Like if you're like, "Oh, this camera sucks." I'm not going to be like, "Yeah, that camera sucks." I don't know.
Yeah.
So we need to normalize people just shutting up when they don't know about a certain topic. Like that there's nothing
Nah, facts,
there's
I agree.
nothing wrong with if you're in a group and a conversation
If you
comes
don't
up
know
and you
something,
don't know how to
keep your
contribute,
mouth shut.
like just you can ask questions, but like going back to some of like these YouTube channels and like people that they're just like, oh, I'm gonna just talk about this and have done minimal research, and you can
Yeah.
tell by the content that they're putting out.
Yeah.
Like that brain needs to be studied because
Yeah.
that's ballsy to be like, yo,
Do
I'm
you
gonna go
think
and I'm gonna do a 1 hour show on some shit that I only know 25% of, but I'm gonna make it
It's
sound like I'm gonna talk in that cadence.
do you
You
contra-
know
think
that cadence that they talk in.
yeah, that is
Hmm.
controversy captures. That's really what it is.
I know, but like, who
Unfortunately.
raised you?
but do you think that the people that are actually paying for this type of information and are engaging in this content and then they like do you think they deserve it for not doing their research? And like, oh, I'm gonna follow this person. I think they know a lot, and they're just like
Listen,
not
the
doing any
way
research.
people get
Listen,
their money and the way they're paid, like,
there's
do
nothing wrong
you,
with it.
but, and there's nothing, like, do you, but it's just not something that I can actively participate
Yeah.
in. I would not sleep well.
Yeah.
Like, knowing that, like, it, to me, it's, I don't know. I don't operate like that, so.
Yo, this is a controversial one here. Another one too.
Ooh.
This is should a man pay all the house bills? And this is something that Ray said in his podcast. So this is coming from the one that
Oh, my
podcast.
favorite.
Me personally, if the man is in a financial position to be able to pay the house bills, he should. Now here's the flip side. Anything's possible. The man could pass away. The man could lose his job. So it's very important that if the relationship is strong between the couple, the man and the woman should work, maybe put that money aside for a rainy day, or maybe to do family travels, whatever the case may be. But if something happens to the man, at least they know they have that safety net there to be able to support each other on a downtime or
Yeah.
downturn. That's the only thing. Other than that, nah, man, step up the game
I
and
think,
pay
well,
the
I think
bills.
it just depends on it. There has to be like a mutual respect,
Mm.
right? Like, I'm all for it. Like, if Vic was making all this money and was like, you don't have to work, I would
Yeah.
still work because I like to work. But there has to be that mutual respect. I wouldn't want a man to bankroll me if they're gonna disrespect me.
Yeah,
That's
If they're
I think
gonna
that's the
throw
big
it in
thing.
my
That's the
face.
big thing.
If they're gonna remind me every second that they pay the bills, so they
Yeah.
make the rules,
Yeah.
or if I have to like go to a grown, like as a grown adult and be like, can I have this?
Yeah.
Like, no, it depends. And now this might be controversial because I think the most opinionated men about the topic
Mhm.
are not the men that can afford to do that thing.
I
Like, when you really
so are
think
you
about
saying
it,
that a lot
you're-
of these guys that's talking
no, the ones that talk shit, like being like,
don't
Like
really have
that
the
should
yeah,
pay
the
the
ones
bills?
that don't like that topic, like
Yeah.
a man shouldn't have to pay all
Yeah.
bills.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
these gold digging ass women. It's usually
the ones that
it's
don't have the
usually
paper
people that do not have the bank account,
Yeah,
to be able to support.
right? And it goes
Yeah.
back to, let's normalize shutting up and
Yeah.
not speaking about something that
Yeah.
you don't know anything
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Like, if you don't understand what that means to take care of a full household and having respect for a partner
Yeah.
and what those two roles look like, just
Yeah.
don't even speak on the topic. Not every woman that's being taken care of is a gold digger.
Yeah. I used to
Right?
watch
No,
I used to
no,
watch my father, like, I as with the differences that my parents and I grew up and within our household, like, I would always definitely show a lot of respect to my pops because he handled the household. You know, there was probably little things here and there that my mom took care of, but my father made sure he handled the household, right? And I think that's where a lot of that for me came from, is watching how he stood up to the plate and like and took care of his business.
Mhm.
You know, for those guys out there that don't make the bankroll and wants a 50-50 partner, you know, like Angela said, they don't have the bank to be able to support.
yeah,
But if
so
you do have the bank to support and take care of the household, you know, and you want your wife to work, you know, and I do believe the woman should work, because obviously you don't want her to just be at home and let her thoughts or her mind deteriorate
Mhm.
by not utilizing it in a way that
Mhm.
could make her more effective. But like, for the most part, like, yeah, I think men should take care of the
Yeah.
household.
And if you
bro.
are gonna do that, like, your wife is not, or your partner is not a commodity.
Yeah.
Like, that's still, that person is still an equal partner
Yeah.
in that relationship.
And your wife should, if you are going, exactly, if you are going to take care of that too, here's another flip side too. Like, you should do it in a way where your wife is still playing a part it's not just about taking care of the kids, even though that's extremely important, right? Because
And hard.
it's
That's
extremely
no, man. I'm
important,
Maintaining a
telling
and
you,
it's a
household.
different job
kids.
of its own, right? But I think in today's day and age, a lot of women don't want to see themselves just sitting home and just taking care of the
And
kids.
ultimately, I think a lot of women just they want respect,
Yeah,
right? If their partner is gonna take care of everything, still give some
yeah,
respect. That's all it comes down
and the
to.
woman should give the men
But
respect too.
also, I'm not gonna go 50-50 with someone if they make hella more money than me
Yeah,
and what I'm able to save is way less than what they are
yeah,
because we're going 50-50.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
Like I'm sorry, I'm not doing
yeah,
that. I'm out.
yeah,
Like
yeah. No,
you could
facts.
call it what you want, but I'm out. I'm not doing it because why
Mm,
should you get to save 50% of your income
mm,
because I'm going half on bills and I only get to save a few dollars.
mm.
Like I'm just not doing that. For that, I'll live by myself.
yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's it, guys. That's all I got for
That's
you
it for
guys.
all the
That's it.
You
recaps.
The
guys
recap.
know, damn, 2024 was a great
I
year.
love 2024. And we still got
A
time.
lot of things happened. 2024 is not over, so hopefully between now until the end of the year, no other crazy shit occurred. But for the most part, it was definitely a pleasure and and a moment to be able to connect with the viewers, the listeners, and we definitely appreciate the support, the love, and everything that you guys bring forward to the table, and we hope that we still have that same support and love
Yeah.
as
One of my
well.
favorite things and least favorite things is like when I'm approached. Because
Mm,
like part of me is like shy and I don't know how to handle it.
yeah,
And they're like, "Oh, I love the podcast." I'm like I so appreciate it, but then I
yeah.
also get nervous. But like keep doing it because it's like it's making me not nervous. Like
Yeah,
it's making me like
Yeah.
I'm getting acclimated. I'm
yeah.
like,
That's
testing
what's
the
up.
waters, but I love that. I
That's
love
what's
when
up.
people
That's what's up.
talk to us.
And you guys continue to follow, share, like all that great thing. And obviously, the next couple months till New Year's show pops up, you guys gonna be receiving a lot of repurposed videos.
Yeah.
So you're gonna don't get sick and tired of it. It is what it is,
No, no, but also let us know if you like seeing John on camera.
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
yeah.
I
Actually, it
like
was actually
it.
pretty dope seeing John
Yeah,
on
man.
camera. You guys don't really see him, so it was actually dope to see our videographer up front and personal with you guys.
Bro, I'm a perfectionist and I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh man, that light back there didn't turn on. I'm like, this camera just died. So hey man, shit happens, man. This is part
But
of
that's
the,
what
the
they like.
industry.
The
Yeah.
people like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
They can see it's genuine. Imagine if we got up here and everything we were so robotic. That shit would
yeah.
be
Yeah.
whack.
And
I'd be
John
like,
hates
I'm
that
out.
shit.
No.
But until next time, you guys know what
Hey.
it is. It's your boy Sadiq Davis. Sorry about that.
You can't even say your own name?
Don't start,
You
Angela.
see? Oh my
Don't
goodness.
start, Angela,
Look at,
please.
oh my
Don't start,
goodness.
Angela
Well, I'm
Montero.
Angela and I know my name.
Uh,
Angela
Oh man.
Montero.
Whatever. And John Fana or Fana.
Peace.
Holla at you. Peace, peace.